Despite huge sales, Borderlands 3 developers will not be paid the big quarterly bonuses that was promised to them. Now let's sit back and take out the trash. Welcome everybody, and thank you so much for joining me for another gaming news video. Now let's just jump into it immediately. To sum things up very quickly, Gearbox brought out a new game, Borderlands 3. The developers were promised big bonuses for their work, but those bonuses were gone faster than they were promised.
And it's gone.
Now let's just start at the beginning and try and see exactly what is happening here. For those of you who are unaware of how things work over at Gearbox, Gearbox has a profit sharing system. That means royalties from their games are being shared with the developers 60-40. That means 60% goes to the company and its owners, and 40% are being distributed to the employees in form of a quarterly bonus. Now this is a great structure because it means that if a game is doing well, you get to partake in the profits and reap the benefits of your hard work. These quarterly bonuses are something that the employees bank on because they are being underpaid based on industry standards. Part of how the structure works is game developers are being paid less, but to make up for it they get these big bonuses. Now Borderlands 3 is a massive success, selling over 7 million copies. So how did things go so horribly wrong to the point where the company cannot afford to pay their employees the bonuses that was promised to them? Well, let's dive a little bit deeper and see if we can try and understand. Jason Schreier over at Kotaku did an awesome job dissecting this whole thing. I will leave a link down in the description and you guys can go and check it out for yourself. But there is one thing in the article that I would like to point out because I believe the answer that we are looking for lies there. In the article, Jason Schreier writes, Gearbox has been struggling, failing to find financial success with the flops like Alien, Colonial Marines and Battleborn. Am I the only one who's disappointed with Battleborn? That game had so much potential and I think it was just killed by Overwatch. But anyway, let's just read on. As a result, quarterly bonuses has been smaller in recent years, and now we're starting to see the fuller picture. Profits has been down and now they're trying to cover costs. And how do they do that? By screwing the employees out of the bonuses that they have worked so hard for. Borderlands 3 has some success and now instead of sharing that profits with the employees as promised, they are using that profits to cover past failures. I wonder if the top executives and CEO is also going to take a pay cut. I bet they will not. I bet they will still be getting that 12 million a year. But let's also dive a little bit deeper than that, because there has been some what looks like allegedly huge financial mismanagement, particularly with this game. When they say this game has been underperforming, that's just bullshit in terms of sales. In terms of profit, well, there might be some truth to that, but whose fault is it and who should be held responsible? Now let's look at Randy Pitchford and what he had to say to his employees, and then we will take a little bit of a deeper look into the budget of this game of what I believe is horrible mismanagement. Pitchford had the following to say to his employees: the game has been more expensive than expected and the company has grown significantly larger over the past and projected sales has been off. Your sales numbers were off after selling 7 million copies. If your sales numbers were off after selling 7 million copies, then what on earth are you doing? How do you misread the market that much? And what were your projections? What did you think you were going to get that Minecraft money and sell over 100 million copies? Exactly what was the fantasy here? And then you say the game is more expensive than projected? Well, how do you not know that? And is it not your responsibility to budget properly? And if you don't, that's your failure. But no, we're gonna make our employees carry the cost. But let's look at the gaming budget. In total, they spent over $140 million on the game. They spent over $90 million on the base game and then an additional $45 million on added DLC. Now let's just ask ourselves, who is in charge of the budget? It's not the employees, it's the executive that oversees the budgets. So how do you not know that you are overspending? How do you not know that you are growing at the pace that is unsustainable? Isn't it your responsibility to know these things? And now they find themselves in a situation where it's time to pay their employees and they're just like, well, we don't have any money for you, don't expect anything from us. But also based on what I see, it looks like whenever there's any additional expenses that needs to be covered, it comes from the employees' 40% share. They need to cover all of those costs no matter how much mismanagement there is from the top, and that just feels wrong to me. Also, why are employees being promised bonuses when they know that they are overspending and they will not be able to pay them? Was this just a case of dangling a carrot in front of them to make them work on those weekends and those late nights, and then when the profit starts rolling in, you just rip the mat out from under them? Now, these developers were also being told that if they are not happy with the royalty system, they are welcome to quit. According to those in the meeting, employees were told that Gearbox will try and get an advance from 2K for future royalties, but that's not really the point here now, is it? We're not talking about future royalties and future projects and future games. We are talking about current profits on a current game. All you are doing now is making the same promises that you previously did with the development of Borderlands 3. You did not follow through on those promises, so why should people believe that you are going to follow through when it comes to future projects? And here's another thing, for those of you who might not know, Randy Pitchford took home a 12 million bonus.
Yeah, money! Woo!
And that bonus was paid out right at the development of Borderlands 3. For what, you might ask? Well, I don't have an answer for you. Honestly, I got nothing. Now here is a little statement from Gearbox. They seem to have a problem with Kotaku's article. They said nothing in the statement to Kotaku that its profit sharing program has paid over $100 million in royalties above and beyond the traditional compensation to its employees. In the most recent pay period, Gearbox talent enjoyed news that Borderlands 3, having earned revenue exceeding the largest investment ever made by the company into a single video game, had officially become a profitable video game, and the talent at Gearbox that participate in the royalty bonus system now has earned their first royalty bonus on that profit, Gearbox said. Additionally, the forecast update was given to the talent at Gearbox that participate in the royalty bonus to set expectations for the coming quarters. Gearbox is a private company that does not issue forward-looking statements to the public, but we do practice transparency with our own family. Now, first of all, what you pay your employees in the past is not the point here. If you agree to share profit with your employees, then you have to follow through on that. Also, when was this forecast update given to the talent at Gearbox? Because the employees seem to be very caught off guard by this. I bet they were not informed about this forecast update during all of those crunch sessions. No, I bet they were informed after the fact. So in conclusion, it is very simple. Pay your employees what was promised to them. These developers at Gearbox are already being underpaid and they bank on these quarterly bonuses. And if you're not going to pay your people the bonuses that were promised to them, then you need to stop underpaying them. Otherwise, you're just assholes. But for now, this is where I'm going to end it. So thank you so much for joining me. Stay safe and I hope to see you again next time.